Greetings. Happy Halloween. Today is October 31st. I'm Denise Duran. I am a certified fearless living life coach. And how many of us just loved Halloween growing up? For those of us, at least in America here, who couldn't wait to dress up and go around our neighborhoods, collect candy. Some of us might even be old enough to remember a time when they actually put homemade things in our trick-or-treat pillowcases or buckets. This year's a little different. Things may be a little different in your neighborhood. And is it okay? And what makes it okay? What makes it not okay if it's not okay? All of this information that we are processing, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm not really here to talk about Halloween. What I'm really here to talk about is just to tell you a little bit about myself and to invite you on a 30-day journey that I'm going to be taking tomorrow that has to do with how we process information. My journey to becoming a life coach began back in the early 2000s when I would put my kids down for a nap and I would turn on the TV because that was my break time. And I used to watch this television show called Starting Over. And it had this life coach on there, life coach 2002, 2003. What's a life coach? Well, I learned, and it absolutely had me compelled that this life coach person wasn't a therapist. What this person did was she worked with women to help them identify what it was that was keeping them from starting over. What were the belief systems that they had? What were the truths that were absolutely undeniable that they processed so that they used to stay within their comfort zone? Well, the life coach that I'm referring to is Rhonda Britton. There's two of her books behind me. And I was just fascinated to see the transformation that these women in this Starting Over house would go through. And it was like a roller coaster, so it was pretty compelling television. And I used to think to myself, boy, I wonder what it would be like if I could go into that house. The reality was I had healthy kids, I was healthy, I had a healthy husband, we were together, and we had a pretty great life. Were there challenges? Absolutely. And our challenges got greater as our journey moved forward. But I always thought about that starting over idea. What would it look like to start over? And how many times do we wish, oh gosh, if we could just do a reboot or a reset and start over? Well, a few years ago, as I was continuing on my journey to figure out who I was, what I was trying to do, what I wanted to accomplish, how to find my purpose, all of that good stuff, I happened across a podcast called Master Coach Mindset that was hosted by the Fearless Living Institute and Rhonda Britton. And I learned that she had a life coach school. And I thought to myself, I want to listen to this. Because when I realized that the Rhonda Britton on this podcast was the same Rhonda Britton that I used to watch 15 years ago, I was intrigued. So I listened to the podcast, I looked her up online, and I said, yeah, my intuition said, this is the direction for you to go in. And so I joined the coaching program, which is the curriculum of her program is based off of her New York Times bestselling book, Fearless Living. And what I learned about fearless living is being fearless means not about not being afraid. It doesn't mean that we don't have fear. If we don't have fear, what I tell my clients is, without fear, we don't learn to not pet the big furry kitty with the really big teeth. So we need fear, because without it, we might not survive. So it has a job. Fear has a job to do, and it's a really important one. What I have learned and what I work and share with my clients is that fear is within our brain. It doesn't have eyeballs, so it can't tell the difference between what's real in terms of what could genuinely physically threaten us, or what is it that we're thinking could hurt or threaten us. And a lot of times we can't tell the difference. So what I am going to be doing, and this is what I would love for you to join me, I'm inviting you to join me, is I'm taking one of her other books called Change Your Life in 30 Days. Tomorrow's November 1st. There's 30 days in the month. So each day, I'm going to go through one of the exercises. I'm going to post it. I'm going to upload it, post it here on this YouTube channel. And I would love for you to join me. You're going to be able to check in and see what the chapter du jour, the chapter of the day is. And we're going to be able to share through the chat, or if you'd like some additional information, you can reach out to me. But I'm going to share my journey with you. And I would love for you to join me in exploring this too. So with that being said, each YouTube upload is going to be somewhere around 10 minutes. And I'm going to include the chapter, the daily chapter, what the exercise is, and how I connected with it. Because we never stop learning how to be fearless. It's like the idea of, you think you climb to a mountain and you're at the very top of the mountain, and then you look over and you're like, oh, and there's another mountain. So our journey allows us to continually perpetuate our growth and to expand our purpose and our path and find ways to reveal, discover, and uncover what it is that we're here to do. And I'll also include a little motivational card. I've had these cards, oh my goodness, for probably more than 10 years. And these cards are just they're just little messages. They don't have any divine power. They don't create magic or anything like that. However, I'm just going to pull a card randomly, and whatever message that pulls you or provides you with that's kind of interesting, even if it's the colors of the card, that's an opportunity to do a little exploring, to do a little mountain climbing, if you will, so that you can see the next best view in your life. So let's do it, right? Let's do this. Let's start tomorrow, November 1st, and let's see where we get to by November 30th. So our card for the day, there's 50 cards in this pack, so sometimes we may get a duplicate or we may not. But for today, I'm just pulling a card. It's the picture of a Buddha. It says, I recognize true success. I can't make this stuff up, okay? It was a random pick. And what it says is, true success is the progressive expansion of happiness. It is the ability to express spontaneous joy and to share it with others. Well, there you go. Consider this an invitation for us to share a journey together and to find and recognize true success. So join me here tomorrow. I can't wait to get your responses and your feedback. And hey, let's change our lives and be fearless.